Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country. I'm wearing my Jerusalem hat, or you'd say in Hebrew, Yerushalayim hat, because I've been there. But you saw the title of the song, right? If Jesus came to your house. And that's sort of like a common theme in Christian circles. When I ran in pretty hard curl? Yeah, we curled our hair. No, hardcore Christian circles, fundamentalists, decades ago. That was a theme, though. Like, if Jesus came to your house, or sometimes privately you'd think about that. Like, if he came to your house, if this person came to your house and lived with you, or just spent time there, how would you be? Would you just sort of be on your best behavior? Well, if that's the case, why not be that way ordinarily? All this. I don't know where the song's going, but it's read Sovine, and read as a way of yanking the heart right out and making you cry. Think, feel, go to a different place, just absorb. Sherry Waters, shout out to you. Thank you. It brings up a lot where I think, all right, there's this expression like if you want to know what a Christian believes, ask him or her. If you want to know what a Jew believes, live with them for 3 days. And this kind of converges the two. But anyway, I've been to Jerusalem, Bethlehem. We say it as Bethlehem, but Bethlehem. I've been all over Israel and the whole 9 yards. So here we go.
If Jesus came to your house, I wonder what you'd do. Yes, if Jesus came to your house to spend a day or two, if he came unexpected, just dropped in on you. Oh, I know you'd give your nicest room to such an honored guest, and all the food you'd serve to him would be the very best. And you would keep assuring him you're glad to have him there, that serving him in your home is joy beyond compare.
You'd be scared.
But when you saw him coming, would you meet him at the door with arms outstretched in welcome to your heavenly visitor? Or would you have to change your clothes before you let him in? Or hide some magazines and put the Bible where they'd been? Would you turn the radio off and hope he hadn't heard, and wish you hadn't uttered that last loud, hasty word?
Yeah, I've done that.
And would you hide your worldly music and put some hymn books out? Could you let Jesus walk right in, or would you rush about? And I wonder, if the Savior spent a day or two with you, would you go right on doing the things you always do? Would you go right on saying the things you always say? Would life for you continue as it does from day to day?
For the most part.
And would your family conversation keep up its usual pace? And would you find it hard each meal to say a table grace? Would you sing the songs you always sing and read the books you read, and let him know the things on which your mind and spirit feed? And would you take Jesus with you everywhere you'd planned to go? Or maybe would you change your plans for just a day or so? Would you be glad to have him meet your very closest friends?
This is all about consistency. It's like you have these super high ideals for Christians that would be set by the life of Jesus, and hopefully some of the Tanakh or Torah, the Pentateuch, whatever, it should be infused in that walk if that's your religious penchant or upbringing or belief, whether it was your upbringing or not. But it's all about consistency. All right, let's see. I like the questions he's asking. They're simple ones, but they're penetrating ones.
Or hope that they would stay away until his visit ends? And would you be glad to have him stay forever on and on? Or would you sigh with great relief when he at last was gone? Oh, it might be interesting to know the things that you would do if Jesus came in person to spend some time with you.
Yeah. I didn't know the direction it was going to go in, but I kind of had an idea, Sherry, that I was going to go in that direction. There comes a point where you've got to trust that the other person that you're with, and in this case, it's obviously Jesus, but if the person is wise and they've been around, you got to trust that they can see heart when it's there. And if you've cultivated yourself over time, in your lifetime, to maintain a conscience, you got to let yourself off the hook a little bit once in a while because you're not perfect. And you got to know that other people know that. There have been times in my life where I've been so convicted within myself of being a complete jackass. And I didn't know it because I was, had an ego when I was a younger man in my 20s, of course, thinking I was all of that when I was really just a dick in ways. But I was a nice guy in many ways. But when I became convicted, so to speak, within myself that, gosh, I can't believe I was that arrogant. And a number of my friends, male and female, were like, I could have told you that. And that's when I realized, oh my God, these people loved me in spite of myself. And these aren't perfect people, but it's that's kind of when I really understood more about what love was, when I really saw that these people were in my life. I had no clue they thought I was arrogant or they knew I was arrogant at the time. And yet we laughed, we had fun, we did all this. And that just showed me the strength and, in a sense, the human spirit. But if you want to continue, as human beings, we have a duty of continual improvement. It doesn't matter what your faith is in that regard, whether it's Christian, Jew, Buddhist, atheists. I've had my eyes opened, in my life where I used to be very judgmental. And I'm talking decades ago when I was involved very much in what I call fundamentalist Christianity, where this is the right way, there's no other way, and if you don't have this way, you're wrong. I worked my way out of that because I didn't like that way of being. It really didn't sit well with my soul or my heart, my mind, whatever we call it. When I worked my way out of that, I became a much better version of myself. But that's sort of like the progress or the process of life if you have a conscience. You get convicted that there are certain things in yourself that you don't like, or you'll see someone else and you admire that quality in them. It might be the way they speak. It's this beautiful, endearing way they speak. It's welcoming. Or maybe they're very thoughtful or generous or honest or get whatever it is that you identify in another person, and you say, wow, I would like to be a little bit more like that. I'd like to have that quality. I don't want to be that person entirely. That's idolatry. But wow, look at the way that person responded in a heated situation. I don't do that. I blow up, or whatever you think about yourself. So over time, you make those adjustments and you just become a better version of yourself. And this world isn't necessarily conducive to it. You really have to drive yourself. It comes from within to make that happen. If you have some people around you, let's say a spouse or your kids or whomever, that, help you in that area or make it easier, that's a good thing. But by and large, those sorts of breakthroughs, they happen alone. They happen up here. The battlefield of life is in the mind. It's generated in many ways by the heart. Like when you're convicted of a certain thing that you don't like.